Four options, and you need to pick three each time. That's 24 possible names you could be going by.
Well,
I'm assuming you could just pick any of them in any order.
well, two of them are always there, like the names I go by, Matthew Brewer. But I've got a first name, which is Matthew's my middle name. I've got a second middle name and then my last name. So it's like I flip a coin because I don't remember which one I've used for what. So it's like do I use the first name or the second middle name this time? Because nothing has room for four names. It's always going to be three names.
My driver's license, my Tennessee driver's license, has four names on it.
Mine didn't have room.
Well, it got all but like the last letter of the.
Well, it's funny. My first time through the University of Tennessee, Knoxville, as a 19-year-old screw up, I one of the few classes that I did pass was weightlifting, and at the time I had put my entire name in, all four names, and my third name is Brownlow, right? So, but you go. And it ran out of room, and so it was, Ryland Matthew Bro, B-R-O, Brewer, right? And my weightlifting instructor is exactly what you imagine a weightlifting instructor would be like except for maybe a valley dude, just jacked and like super energetic, super nice. But he was, the first day we're there going through the rosters, and he got down to my name, and he's like, "Is your middle name Brother?" And I said, "Yep." And he called me Brother Brewer the entire semester.
And Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan.
I did to him, but no, he was so excited. And this is the guy that was, like low carb before low carb was a low carb thing. He was talking about going to, how to eat low carb when you go to Taco Bell, and like it was amazing advice. I mean, really good teacher, and like obviously he practiced what he preached because, like I said, he looked like a bodybuilder. But I'll never forget the look on his face, like this sheer joy of like, "Is your name Brother?" I'm like, "Are you a bro?" Yep.
Some people get all the luck.
I know. That was so much fun. I don't remember that guy's name, but.
Well, I've got to tell you, the Brownlow Medal in Australia is awarded to the best and fairest player in the Australian Football League.
Really?
Yeah, it's an annual thing that we do.
Well, that's cool. I should get it every year.
It's probably named after you. Seems likely.
Now that Australia has found you, they're going to send you a bill.
That's right.
For every year.
You know how much these medals cost?
Especially with international shipping.
Mr. Brewer, if that is your name.
Hey, Cowart, did you notice some of the changes, like the drachma that you can spend, all that stuff? I'm curious how many drachma you have. It's all right. I'm officially changing my name tomorrow, so it won't work.
I've got 5,000.
Are you going to change it to something completely different?
Oh, well, I'm not telling you now because Cowart's going to hack me.
Fine.
Oh, I have proof, though. At least, I'm taking a screenshot right now. There we go.
It's just going to be Matt, Alma, Faison, Khaldun, Tarathiel.
Junior.
Yes. Four names are not enough. I found that out the hard way. I need 7.
One for each letter.
The third. 2 other assholes had the exact same name, and it's obnoxious.
I knew a guy at UT the second time I went who was at the rec center, and he was in charge of like the canoes and all and the bikes and all that stuff that you could rent from the rec center.
Mm-hmm.
The T-Rex, by the way, is the name of the Tennessee Recreation Department. So T-Rex. But his name, I don't remember his first name, but I only remember his last name because it was completely appropriate. His last name, I think it was like, first name was maybe like Roger or Jack or something like that, but it was Roger Wildfire.
Oh, nice.
I was like, that is a great name for an outdoorsman.
That's amazing.
Jackery Wildfire.
Finn Wolfhard, right? Like, that's not a real name.
Yeah.
You made that up.
Yep.
There's named Wolfhard.
There's a guy in one of my Discord servers, who I believe works for one of the the FANG employers, but his name is Tyler Thornblade. And I'm like, that's not your, it's fake. He's like, you have no idea how hard it is to get official things done when I say, here's my ID. And they're like, yeah, right.
You have to use the voice. You can't
Where's
say
Ashton
that in a
Kutcher?
normal voice.
I don't know the voice.
Of the Montana Thornblades?
Montana Thornblades?
How do you know what Montana is?
Me. I watch TV.
Oh, that's fair enough.
We got trees in Buffalo.
That's
I
about
guess
all
I've
we
heard
have
of Perth, so.
Hannah's last name had to come from somewhere.
Now I know the names of 4 people, okay, 5, that live in Perth, Australia, and right now only 2 of them are there. 3 of them are in the U.S. So, sorry, Mike.
That's all right. I've shipped 2 people to Canada in the last 2 weeks. So.
In boxes.
Yeah. Boxes with wings.
Yes. Very small boxes.
Plain boxes, not fancy boxes.
As opposed to helicopter boxes?
Well, that just dwindled to nothing. So let's
Yep.
play some D&D.
Yep.
Wait, I got a question first.
Fine.
I got a question
All
first.
right, go for it. Go for
No.
it.
So I did a lot of binge watching this weekend. Has anybody watched Sandman?
Yes, all of it. Wonderful.
Seen the
Loved
first episode. It was really good. I'm
Yes.
really impressed.
What's it about? It seems like something I'd watch
It's
and fall
about
asleep.
the Sandman.
Quite literally. That's
It's a-
that's
so
the name
it's
of- that's
a-
the name
it's
of
a
the
set of-
snarky response.
Graphic novels. They've
No
been
doubt.
around for like 20. They're pretty old.
Yeah.
Has it been 20 years?
More than 20, I think.
Yeah, it's been a while. But anyway, graphic novels, and the main character is a Sandman. And in this world, there's these group of siblings, and they're all like, so there's the Sandman, and there's Death and Desire and
They all start
Lucifer.
with D. Destiny, death, desire, despair,
Yeah,
delirium,
despair.
destruction.
So they're all siblings, and they kind of rule what you would
Oh, they
expect
are
them to
all
rule.
D. I never noticed that.
That's like, whoa.
Except
Gotta get
for
that D.
Lucifer.
It's-
Devil?
Yeah.
Devil?
Yeah.
You
They
mean?
never call Lucifer the devil, which is
No.
interesting.
What's Lucifer's last name? It's like
Morningstar.
Morningstar. Yeah.
Wait, isn't that a
Well,
different
we
show?
all just had that ready to go, right, in the holster. We
No,
killed our
I-
D&D
I-
people.
I binged it in a day, and I was sitting there watching this thing. I got about halfway through, and I'm like, I should have read this graphic novel years ago. Like, it's really, really good. And
Well,
1989, the original comic. So 33 years old this year.
holy crap!
And
Anyway.
Thanks for that, Mike.
it was good.
Yes.
I liked it.
I'll
So
have
I'm
to
going
check it
to
out.
plug something else I watched, and I just watched it yesterday, and that's thanks to Rachel because I don't even think I knew it existed. And that's the new Predator movie, Prey. Holy crap, that's a good movie. Like, I would rank it after the original as far as that's not saying a lot, I know, but like I didn't expect
better than Predator
much.
2? Really?
I would say so. Yeah, it wasn't as like it was. Well, so for one thing, the cinematography was amazing. The music was fantastic. Like the storyline wasn't terrible. You know, I mean, it's a Predator. It's in the preview. It's in the previews. Like they're Native Americans in like the 1700s,
Okay.
maybe 1800s.
Okay.
So you know, it's a space alien with like technology versus bows and arrows. So yeah, you got to suspend a little bit of your already suspended belief because it's sci-fi. But it's really, I mean, I was incredibly impressed. So I suggest everybody watch it.
The thing that confuses me, because I haven't seen it yet, I'm hoping to watch it this week with my dad. Why is this a direct-to-streaming thing? Because it's getting good buzz. It looks amazing. Why did this not go to the cinema? Like, why did they look at this and go, nah?
Well, probably
I
because
don't
the
know.
last 4 Predator X movies tanked. Like, they were just garbage at the box office. And maybe they didn't want to, because I didn't know it existed. Like, they didn't advertise. Of course, I only
They've
watch
done a really
streaming,
bad
but-
job of supporting this film. Because, yeah, most people, it's getting a lot of word of mouth. a lot of word of mouth. Like I'm hearing it from all angles. Like strange people are coming out of the woodwork. I get telegrams from my grandmother saying "Watch Pray." Like it's
Watch
and
Pray,
she's
really?
If you did Morse code, you know what that said.
Yeah. It's weird. It's really weird.
I see it going to the theater after being streaming. Like I can see them putting it in theater now, because it's like even with the tomato meter or whatever, give it 97. That's unheard of for sci-fi. It's fresh.
What's if it's streaming only? Which streamers
Hulu.
can you watch on? It's only Hulu.
Yeah, I picked up Hulu just to watch it.
In Australia, where we don't have Hulu, it's on Disney Plus.
Well, that
Really?
sucks because I canceled Disney Plus to get Hulu.
Which is a super, super weird thing to say, like, this is not advertised anywhere, and the only place you can watch it is Disney Plus? Like,
well, Disney does have a package with Hulu, though. So I think Disney owns Hulu, maybe, or they've got some sort of agreement.
Everybody set your VPN to Australia.
yeah. I watched Ghostbusters Afterlife last night, which I had been putting off because I was sick of everything being a nostalgia grab from my childhood. It was amazing. I was grinning the entire film, and I kind of got to the end of it and went, they could do one of these every 2 years. I'm there with my money. These whoever wrote this, if they have this story, I'm gonna be there. It was really good.
Well, I will say at the very end, it kind of punches you with a nostalgia hammer a little bit, but but
they earned
the very end. Yeah, exactly. It was a well done movie. I like that one too. I like Prey better. You should watch it.
Well, thanks for invalidating my decisions, man.
Speaking of which, I've been watching Handmaid's Tale.
You mean
kind of
the news?
Along the same lines, huh?
You mean the news?
The news, yeah, right.
That was kind
so
of.
I've been burying all my gold and stockpiling canned goods, and I'm renewing my passport as soon as I change my name. So, y'all ready to go?
Yeah.
Yep.
We're all in a really good mood now.
Yeah, right. So last week we played. I haven't listened to it because I've been watching Handmaid's Tale instead of doing real prep. I think the last thing you did was you went back to Mavu's house, his mansion, and the plan was to. No, you'd already done that.
Yes.
Yes. So Mavu's
You missed
books,
a whole episode.
I know. I've slept since then. So you did that, and then you went back to
Morgoth,
the drunken Morgoth. At which point you
Leveled
met
up.
Celeste. You saw the note board was just full of requests for audiences with you. As a reminder, Mavu's books basically showed that he was breaking even because of the taxes that had been increased, even though his sales had gone up significantly to the city guard. So, as a refresher for there.
Now, when this happened, afterwards, I kind of imagine how this could have happened, and I envisioned like a swarm of Harry Potter owls just flying into the Morgoth, pinning these teams to the board. There's just like 47 of them. Like, how does this happen?
Well, I'll be honest. My first idea was to have them all leave messages with Nalini, and she would just come up and go, "I have a message for you," and like you thank her in the show, and she walks off. I also had an idea of doing the bartender, and he's like, "I'm not your answering service," blah blah blah. But I mean, there's a board out there for a reason, so I didn't feel like role playing it.
Please leave a message after the show.
This is a good show. Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
We're having fun.
So,
man.
Celeste came in, gave you all your invites, the little cards, and she's dressed to impress. All these different things. You've got all these requests on your on the message board. You just finished eating lunch. Let's say, what are you guys doing? Do you want me to go back over who all left requests? That might be useful.
We've got a stack. So
Yes.
I have so Tertian, Skellion, Jenya, Severin, Talon, Verate, or something. The Lord Mayor.
Severin
who's
Neverlant. Neverlant.
Neverland. Neverland.
There was a
Neverland
message
Ranch.
that said, "Come have a beer at the Tip Tankard X."
Yep.
And then
And come see me soon from Shinsen.
that's right. Good notes. What's up? What's next?
Who's the closest? Oh, we've got to wait till the next day to go to the Nixie, right?
Queen Nixie is tomorrow night. Yes.
All right. So we've got a
Dinner
whole
tomorrow.
day of running around.
Day and a half.
Yep.
To go to talk to as many or as few as you like. You're not, you're big celebrities now. You can ignore anybody you want.
That's a good idea.
I vote for Jenya. She's been good to us coming up.
Me too.
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right. And it was actually a message from Rufus saying Ginny would like to speak. But
Well, in that case,
yeah, screw Rufus. He's the reason we're here in the first place.
Speaking of Rufus, I rewatched Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure this weekend too.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
It is still
Great.
excellent.
Did you watch the second one?
No,
It's
that's
still
not,
crap.
That's not so excellent.
No.
But,
You can't even
but
go back
William,
in time
William
to make that better.
Sadler's death is worth it. It's worth it just for Sadler's death.
I don't think I've ever actually seen the second one.
That's okay.
It's okay.
Color me shocked.
I can tell. You're just, yeah.
Best 5 of 7. Has anybody seen the third one? And was it good?
Yes, no. We can move on from there.
That's all I needed to know.
The issue
Yeah,
has
no.
been closed.
God, it was just bad.
Asked
Really
and
was
answered.
bad. Yeah.
Motion carried.
Thirds. So you're heading to the Church of St. Cuthbert to meet up with Ginya. And it did say, nothing. It didn't say anything about being urgent or anything like that. It was just come see me when you have a chance. You go inside and you see the other acolytes, and Rufus comes to meet you, and he does his greetings and shuffles you back towards Ginya's rectory. Head inside, and she stands up as you walk in.
No, Mike.
What?
I said no, Mike. I saw the look on his face, and I said no,
Oh.
Mike.
Rectory. So you go inside, and Ginya stands up as you walk in, and she smiles from ear to ear, and she says, "Friends, please come in, have a seat." And she has chairs set up there, enough for all 4 of you. And she thanks Rufus, and he heads out. She sits down. I've already heard about what you've done fighting off that creature earlier today, or no, was that yesterday? Yesterday. Fighting off that creature yesterday. I wanted to congratulate you. And she looks like she is under duress, I guess. Not like somebody's got a gun to your head, but like you could tell, especially Alma, you can sense that she's holding back, like she's not wanting to say everything that she would like to say. And as she's talking, she holds just holds a finger up and quickly casts Detect Magic. Khaldun, you recognize it immediately.
Mm-hmm. I was going to do it. She didn't.
And she does that, and you realize that she sits for a moment, and about 18 seconds later, she looks around. She goes, "Okay. I have been scryed upon recently, and I wanted to make sure that they weren't still scrying upon me. Something has drastically changed in Cauldron. I'm sure you've picked up on it. All the official changes, like changing of the guard, the taxes increasing, but it's not just that. Even the parishioners that come, they don't come as frequently, or they feel there's an ominous presence, if you haven't felt that so far, that's never been here before. And somebody's spying on me. So really, this was a call for you to be careful, because they're probably spying on you as well."
Well, they've scryed on us before. Oh, no, we weren't here. We were at the orphanage.
Yes, you were at. Yes, this is Matt saying, not her.
Mhm. Okay, I don't see
None.
anything.
On me, I've got this. It is. Get the amulet of proof against detection and location.
Who said that?
Yeah, they're looking to the camera and your face is blurred out.
Yeah, you get the no face thing going. Did you mention that about the orphanage?
Yeah, I mean, I'll absentmindedly say, yeah, they scryed on us before, and then I'm like, wait, no, we were at the orphanage, because that's exactly what I thought.
Okay, so somebody's keeping an eye on you as well.
They were scrying on Patch, I think.
We think.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
They seem to know his movements pretty well.
Well, I know that Gretchen mentioned that Patch had disappeared. Days, gosh, it's been a week now. I don't know what happened to him. Didn't you tell me that he had been spying for the last laugh? Did you tell her that he had been spying? I want to say you did. So you guys are pretty upfront with her.
We did.
And that he stopped.
And then he stopped, right? Okay.
Did we tell her that he's dead?
I don't think so.
Spoilers.
So
I mean, I'll
we
tell her.
just recently got that information.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's dead? How do you know he's dead?
It says so right here in the notes.
My potato
I wrote
chips.
it down.
I cast my potato chips and read the bones.
We paid somebody to investigate for us, and sadly, one of the investigators also lost their life.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Is there anything I can do to help you? I don't know what you're doing, but is there anything I can do to help? Is there anything this Church of St. Cuthbert can do to help?
If you hear anything, let us know, because we're just now kind of coming to terms with all the changes that have occurred in the past week.
Well, the laws are changing. The tax laws, the laws against non-humans being guards, and St. Cuthbert's tenet is within the law lives hope. If you change the laws to where they no longer serve the greater good, then you're losing hope. So to let you know, you have the support of the Church of St. Cuthbert of Cauldron, and I will reach out to all the nearby churches of St. Cuthbert and let them know who you are, and that should you seek anything to assist you as best they can. And she kind of genuflects, and in the name of St. Cuthbert, I give you my blessings and things like that. That was all. It concerned me that I was being scryed upon, and now to find out that you and poor Patch is dead. Be careful.
Seemed like a good kid that got caught up with a bad crowd.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what I feel has happened. It's a shame. What do you have plans on now?
We've been
Ask
looking
more
into
questions.
Marvo. This rich guy. He stopped paying his taxes and appears to have gone missing.
And she looks genuinely surprised by that. Missing? Well, I mean, he leaves a lot. He's a follower of St. Cuthbert. I haven't seen him. Again, he leaves a lot. He does a lot of traveling for his import-export, but I haven't seen him in, gosh, a couple of weeks.
If you hear about him in a remote town from one of your other churches, could you let us know?
Absolutely. I'll spread the word to even keep an eye out for him.
Thank you.
I wouldn't make yourself too big of a presence though, because things are getting dangerous and people are disappearing.
Noted. I'll be sly, and she kind of smiles as best I can. I do have some magical, mystical blessings of St. Cuthbert that allow me to communicate with other church heads without anybody hearing. So I'll use those means primarily then.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sounds perfect.
Khaldun, did you say you had a question? I thought I heard you say that.
No, I said that we're just going to continue to ask questions.
You're going to
get some more. Try to
Interesting.
get some more information, which could make us wildly unpopular here soon. So now that I think about it, we may be looking for an escape hatch here in a couple of days.
Well, I could keep you here a while until they decided that St. Cuthbert isn't as useful to them as it used to be, and then which they would possibly charge. I don't know. Things are changing quickly.
Who makes those changes? Who changes the tax laws?
Lord Nevelant, Lord Mayor Nevelant.
Okay.
And it's solely his decision, and everything that happens in the city, pretty much except for church business, is under the control of Lord Mayor Severin Nevelant.
There's no checks and balances.
He's noble. He's nobility. He basically owns the town. No. He listens. I mean, he'll listen to the other nobles. He'll listen to the influential, the merchants. But once he's made his decision, it's a law.
Right. Who wants to go kick
Is the
down
Lord
the Lord
Mayor
Mayor's
gonna be
door
at
and
that
demand
ball?
answers?
So Jenya doesn't really know about the ball.
I'm asking you.
Oh, you don't know. Celeste didn't say anything.
Okay.
But the cusp of sunrise is reserved for nobility and people that are invited by nobility only. If you're not noble and you're not invited, you're not going in.
You mean the
Okay.
Koinixie?
This has actually happened. The cusp of sunrise. The Koinixie is the place that Mavu like to go.
No.
Nope. It was the other way around for the last several weeks.
Yep. Okay. Back that up. Flip it. Continue.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, let me update my notes.
It's all right because it was
Or-
also
or-
getting those two locations confused the last couple of weeks as well. So who knows? Who knows what's really happening?
Or
See, that's the
we
plan.
woke up in Bizarro world, and that is
It's
true
August
now.
today.
So I'm going to let you know right now, without any shadow of a doubt, the Koinixie is where Mavu would like to go. The cusp of sunrise is where you went to the ball and is nobility only.
Okay.
Okay, so it is changing. Okay.
Yes, it is. Or it's changing to be correct. My mistake. Those two are getting me flummoxed as well.
No, I like the
Stupid
Nixie better.
Bernstein
Anyway.
Bears.
So,
So Lord Mayor Nevelant, rather than, I don't think it's a good idea to approach him directly. I think we need to come at him sideways. So who do we know that knows him?
I mean, to be fair, he did ask to see us personally,
Yes, I know.
so we have a good excuse to find out what he wants.
Yep.
What's the name of the
Volantru?
the other rich guy? Is that Volantru?
Volantru?
Yeah.
there's several rich families in the city.
Well, that have shown particular interest in us.
Oh, Lord
That
Volantry.
one dude. Yeah.
And we got an invitation from him, right?
Just from the
Not
mayor.
from Volantru.
You got one from Celeste.
Celeste.
But she didn't say anything about Lord Volantru, but you did meet her originally sitting at the table with Lord Volantru. That was the original introduction. So you had
The
met her before
soup
at the ball.
thickens.
The poop sickens.
More split
So-
peas.
So here's my theory: either the Lord Mayor is taken prisoner and being coerced, or he's dead and someone's taken his place.
It's all those mimics that we've brought into Cauldron.
Oh no,
Oh God, it was
the true
Boxy
villain was
the whole
Boxy all
time.
along.
We're gonna walk into the meeting, and Farazan's just gonna flip a coin, and you're like, aha!
That's right. Yeah. Why,
Yes, this
why
is
does
your
it say that all
mimic
taxes
bait.
must be paid in copper?
Weird one.
Taxes. Look at me. Look at me. I'm the Lord Mayor now. Give me cover.
Yeah,
Give me cover.
that's right.
All right.
Who else did we get invitation from besides
So-
Celeste and Jenya?
You
And the
got
mayor?
Celeste. You got the invitation to the Tip Tankard. You got the Shinsen, who is at least Tarathiel knows very well, the druid
Mm-hmm.
who is associated with the Striders of Falong.
Straight as a fellow.
Ooh, let's talk to her. Let's talk to her.
I
I
from Rufus.
think we should talk to Shinsen and then
we
Brewer
got
dude at the Temp Taker.
Artis Shimwick.
Yes.
Here's the only thing that makes me like mildly concerned is when the head of the city asks you to their house, if you go and visit everyone else first, and they're keeping an eye on you. Are we dissing the Lord Mayor by not going to see them?
Well, no, that's like in a day and a half, right? That's
Yeah,
No.
Oh.
That's a
No,
separate- That's a separate invitation.
separate invitation.
Celeste is tomorrow night. The invitation to see Lord Mayor didn't say immediately. None of these were like urgent now, come. But like, it was along the same lines on that note board, which is kind of cheap if you think about a Lord Mayor
I was gonna say.
putting a thumbtack on a cork board next to a bar. But,
Yeah,
you
where
know,
Celeste gave us gilded invitations.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
written in like
That's kind of
slowly
another
cursive.
indicator.
He
Written
wants
in
to live
angel
with the common
tears.
people.
What'd you say, Rachel?
I was just saying that kind of gives more to Heath's theory that it might not be
Yeah.
the Lord Mayor at all.
Check
Let-
off
let-
Rufus here.
Let's go
Okay.
see Shinsen.
Yeah, I'm just imagining what really happened is these new half-orc guards were just doing normal duties,
Mhm.
nothing nefarious.
Mhm.
Lord Mayor fell down the stairs and died. Complete accident.
Absolutely.
And then one of the half-orcs is like,
Mhm.
"Oh damn,
I believe you.
just put on the helmet and sit in the chair." Okay, fine.
Sticks on a really tacky, like orange mustache.
Yeah,
Yes.
Weekend at the Lord Mayor's.
exactly.
Mr. Mayor, what should we do about the
Pull
taxes?
this string. Pull the string.
Raise tax.
Right? Raise taxes. Raise taxes.
It's always what's happened to us. That's what you're supposed to do.
What should we do about Mavu?
What mayor do? Raise taxes? Okay.
Yes.
I see Matt furiously scribbling now.
These are great. This is gold, man.
It's all a mistake.
Oh man.
I saw a thing the other day that said that the best kind of trap is the type where you don't know the answer and you just wait for the players to come up with a good solution and you say, "Yep, that's it."
That-
job.
you got it.
Did it.
I mean, half the fun of DMing is changing the story because the players give you so much material to go with.
Yep.
Yeah, but have you ever done that thing where you're sitting at the table and the players do something and you just like sigh and then pick up 40 sheets of paper and just throw them on the floor? It's like, we're not doing any of that.
It's also nice when the players do something, PCs do something, and you sigh and you pick up 18d6 and just roll it. I warned you.
You can certainly try.
I was preparing the Lost Mines of Phandelver, the Goblin Castle, and I watched the video and I made all these notes and I sent messages to myself in Discord, and they sent their invisible familiar into every one of the rooms and spied out everything that was in the things, and they just went around to the back door and straight into where the king was. And I was like, well, just Had I had the map on the table, I would, yeah, exactly. Just wiped the map off the table. I was like, all right,
You know,
That's what we ended up doing, but it was a complete accident.
yeah,
you reward players for being a genius, though, and like just because they bypassed all this content doesn't mean you say, "Well, that didn't work. Sorry, go through the front door and go through the traps." No.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Facing the dragon without that XP.
Right. Third level.
And I learned that the spell Pass Without Trace. Oh
It's
man,
awesome. Yeah, it's powerful.
That's a
5e,
good
5e
spell.
it is. Yeah.
What
yeah.
level were these
It is.
players?
There are 4. And they're 4th level. I've leveled them up a little soon, because they probably should have been 4 after the castle.
Weren't we first, Heath?
We were low because we went in the back way, of
Mhm.
course, because that's just how we play,
Mhm.
and we face off the big bad, and the DM's like, well, you're not going to face him off all by himself, and then the whole place just kind of joins in the fight, and we're like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and you're
Which-
cornered in that little room too.
Ish.
That's the that's I guess the downside or the risk of sneaking to the bottom of the dungeon
Mm-hmm.
and then alerting everybody, because then you got to get out. Right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
and all those creatures you snuck by are now coming after you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that is DM Talk 101. Join us next time for
It's our exclusive GM podcast. It's just a
Yes.
sneak preview. Sign up to the Patreon and you'll get no more of that.
That's right. You'll pay us for what just happened.
Absolutely no additional content whatsoever.
No.
Yeah, let's
So
go
what's-
talk to Shinsen.
What's next? Shinsen. Okay. You know that the Striders.
Actually, should this just be Tarathiel doing this? Or should we storm the castle?
She
Tarathiel,
left
what
it
do you
on a
think?
notice board. I mean,
Okay.
she left a message on the notice board. I think it's okay for everyone to come.
Yeah,
Okay.
it wasn't like it was a
If
note
she
under
wanted
his
to be
pillow or
sneaky about
something.
it, if she can find my pillow, I need to move it. I need to move my pillow. I'll be back, guys.
Just dawned on me.
So you're heading to Minutia's board, which is where the Striders have made their stay. It's also, and I may have mentioned this at some point. This used to be the headquarters for the other thieves guild that's now defunct in Cauldron, which has been taken over by the Last Laugh. Going as a group, you head inside, and the front desk guy notices Tarathiel. Well, maybe, I don't know. Tarathiel's just like naturally a ghost these days.
See, I have a passive stealth of 20.
Yeah,
Good grief.
with disadvantage to see you,
Yes.
and you have non-detection.
Has anyone seen Tarathiel in the last week?
Has anyone, yeah, ever.
I'm right here, buddy.
Ah,
So
Just
you do
taps
walk
on
in,
his elbow.
and the guy at the front desk, he sees you and just gives you one of those like heads back nods, and just thumbs back to the back.
You can let
and
me
you
do the
head
secret
back.
knock.
Dun, 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 dun. You head inside, and it is Shinsen, but it's also Farlan. I'm sorry, Fario, not Farlan, not the actual god.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's Fario, which is one of the 2 half elves that you spoke with at one point.
Only
And-
failure?
Yeah, remember they would kind of end each other's sentences.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we're only going to get half.
We're
the
only going to get
information
half
we
of this
need.
conversation.
Yeah. And Shinsen sees you come in, and she brightens up, and Fario looks over and nods non-committally. And you guys walk in, or you're standing there, and she waves you in and says, "Have a seat." And she just looks, and she looks a lot better, right? I mean, the last time you saw her, you just rescued her from this dungeon, more or less, where she'd probably been there for a couple of days and beaten up. She looks a lot better, a lot healthier. Looks like she's had some rest and food. And she smiles when she sees you, and just immediately says, "I heard you fought a Number Hulk." Wow.
They did most of
Wow.
fighting.
He did most of the killing.
guys-
You guys softened it up for me.
Yeah, I heard Alma put a hole in it. Pretty amazing. I'm just saying that's pretty outstanding.
She does that.
Thanks.
So, I know you guys have been Tarathiel. I'm sorry. I'm going to speak to you, Tarathiel, because I know you. I know you're with the Striders, and she kind of looks at everybody like she looks very new at this cloak and dagger kind of thing, and you can tell she's wondering if she should have said that out loud.
I don't think any of us know this.
About the Striders?
Nope.
I don't think I told anyone.
Now
Oh.
you've heard something. Now, yeah,
Spoilers.
exactly. Now she's like, and she looks kind of around everybody.
What do you mean with the Striders?
on the Ida Stray.
She starts speaking in Undercommon.
Hi, cousin. Just try and do awkward code.
So some friends of
That's
mine
fine. They're cool.
told me, yeah, okay. The Striders have been keeping an eye out on these half-orcs, and they're coming from a war tribe, of half-orc tribe, about 100 miles northwest of Cauldron. And I've just recently found out, because I went and investigated, they've been doing this for months, and they're continuing. Like, this is a massive, massive tribe, hundreds and hundreds of half-orcs. And that's just the males. It's a massive tribe. So, Fario, and she looks to Fario, and he just nods, suggested that we tell you, and they kind of wanted me to do it because I'm the new girl.
Mhm.
So half-orcs coming from a tribe to the north. That's where all these new half-orcs are coming in from. She looks over at Fario and he nods again.
Right?
Nods again. What's that?
Classic urbanization, right? People moving from the rural areas into the big city.
Well, they're not coming through the gates. I don't know how they're coming in. We haven't figured that out, but
Alma knows.
I smile like
Yeah.
this.
well,
Farazan says,
Fario.
what area are they from?
Northeast, west of here, about 100 miles.
Does Matt know the name of the area they're from?
Well, this whole area is the the jungle. I forgot the name of the jungle, but this
Amido?
whole area, Amido, the Amido jungle. It's massive, like the entire South America size. It's an enormous rainforest. So they're a tribe in this area. They're a Amido jungle tribe.
Okay.
Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, that's what
Okay.
Jamie
Okay.
was asking. Because I've been poking around the map of Greyhawk, trying to
Mhm.
figure out where Farazan was originally from, and I've found an area with some interesting stories that I think he would be from. But if they're from the Amido jungle, that's still kind of in the south of the
So
Greyhawk.
This area, these mountains are called the Hell Furnace Mountains.
Mhm.
And
Because of course they know.
to the northwest of here is still the Cauldron region. It would be about 75 miles north of the Lucky Monkey. And they're coming in from that direction, but well out of the mountain range. They are absolutely jungle half-orcs.
Did Alma tell the rest of us what she found
Yeah.
under Oryx, or did you want to
She did.
chime in here? And
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if it was ever explicitly stated, but I 100% would have told you guys that. So if that's something you want to share.
Alma found the half-orcs are coming in from a cave under Oryx bathhouse.
And Shinsen looks at Alma. How did you find that out? Did you fight the goblins in Oryx bathhouse? Bathhouse?
No,
Not
it may
boathouse.
come as a surprise to you that every establishment in Cauldron that we've visited has had some sort of passage into the caves underneath the volcano. And
I'm sure they're quite an
Meta
extensive
base-
lava
meta basement.
tubes. Murder basement.
Yes.
So what did you find, Alma?
Well, I didn't fight them, but I did go down after, and yeah, I just talked to the guy who was running the whole thing.
Do you remember who that person is?
I'm sure Alma does.
Zoden.
The dwarf. Yeah, the
Zoda.
dwarf Soden.
Yeah, it was like he was a dwarf, right?
He was a dwarven. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Well, good. I'll and you see Fario, like they're sitting close enough together so you can see both of them, and whenever he gets that information, you just see him kind of close his eyes and murmur a little bit and nod, and then like rejoin the conversation.
Why did he do that?
I think
That's a
he
weird
was,
thing to do, isn't it?
I think he was talking to.
Faris.
Who were you talking to? Do what?
Is it Faris?
Yeah.
Fario
Yeah.
and Faris or something?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he said, I was letting him know what's going on.
Okay. Okay.
That's
And it had
cool
a
trick.
weird pause. And he just nods.
I don't think
and
I've
smiles.
interacted with this person before, so I'm like not used to whatever's going on.
Yeah,
here.
I don't think any of us have, aside from,
Oh, okay.
well, none of us have
I was
actually.
like, that was odd. That was an odd thing to do in normal conversation.
I have.
Yes.
Okay. I'm like, is this normal? Yeah. Okay.
It's not that weird, and Tarathiel reaches out and just touches Alma on the shoulder and does the mind link thing, and then just says, "See," you get a telepathic message.
Oh my
Yeah.
god! I like that.
That's funny.
It's not that difficult.
And Faria looks over and he just looks at Shinsen. Felian said he'll look into it. And she kind of cuts her eyes over. Okay, all right. That was really
And-
it.
I guess again, like separating player and character knowledge wasn't. I can't remember if it was Cholander and Kalev that said that they'd been hired by the Blue Duke to
Blue
do
Duke.
this.
Do you have inspiration?
I do.
Double
Yes,
inspiration.
That is correct. Those three, because Zoden did mention that he had been a part of the others that come down, including Drakthar. Drakthar was a lieutenant in that little group,
Yeah.
but he kind of went.
He sat in the
Wow.
wrong chair.
Yeah, exactly.
Jeez, that chair, man.
Yes, they were all hired by somebody known as the Blue Duke to do this job.
And Zoden is still doing that job for the
Yeah.
city.
Yes.
And apparently the city's like, this is cool. We'll use these orcs.
Well, Zoden said that he was handing them off to Tercion. He
Yeah,
was
the
Correct.
leader of the
handing them
guard.
off to the
guard-
captain
the
of the
guard.
guard,
That's right.
It's working for them directly.
who we also have potentially an in with.
Well, at least we thought we did.
Well, I mean, he left a message on the notice board, is what I mean.
He did.
Yes.
It was
See?
an invitation to come see him.
The
And
soup is
Fario
definitely
is
getting
just
bigger.
like eyes closed, just mumbling like crazy. Like all this information is coming in, and he's just, spreading it over to what you assume is Felian.
I'm still looking at him weird.
Have you got a corkboard with some red string? Because I think we might need it.
And sticky notes.
Get some. I mean, Polaroid cameras don't exist yet, but Farazan can do a good likeness.
Yeah. I don't know how this
Finishes
would
the
help.
drawing and just kind of shakes it.
That's right.
Yeah.
I don't,
Shake
don't
it, shake
know
it.
how this will help or if it will help, but he wanted, we wanted to let you know.
Okay. That does answer part of a question that we had.
So
What question was that?
do you know anything about someone who calls themselves the Blue Duke?
And Shinsen, I don't. And you see Fario, he closes his eyes and he nods. We've heard the name. It's more of a legend than anything, or some. We've heard the name, sure.
Yeah. Because we
What-
did a little research into that, and it's a sort of it's like Blackbeard the pirate kind of thing. It's like they've been
Yeah.
around for a while.
Dread Pirate Roberts.
Yeah, Dread Pirate
sort of.
Roberts.
Dread,
Yeah.
Dread Pirates, Blue Duke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. And she just looks over at Fario, and he just nods. She goes, "That was it. We just wanted to reach out, especially to say, wow, you took down a Umber Hulk. I am really impressed.
That's a freaky creature.
Yeah. I've seen him in the past before I left the Underdark. They're nothing. They're dangerous creatures. So, good job."
What
Yeah.
was kind of odd was it looks like the Last Laugh lured us into the Umber Hulk
Well, that's strange. How'd they do that?
with daggers.
Some
And-
laughing idiot.
Oh,
Fairzon will pull out the drawing.
Oh, nice. Forgot.
what's the drawing of? Matt's forgotten.
The Harlequin.
The Harlequin that
Oh,
we were
okay.
chasing down.
Huh? Wow. You're pretty good at that.
Thank you.
I don't know anything about this person, but all I know is most Umber Hulks don't come to the surface. They don't spend time up here. They're
It looked like it was summoned into the building. There was a summoning circle.
So you're saying the Last Laugh summoned an Umber Hulk into Mavu's warehouse?
Let's
What's
not
what
get
it looks like?
overly hasty. Someone summoned it, and the
Yeah,
last
it's a
laugh
possibility.
Okay.
were
okay.
around.
Okay. And all right. Well, I hope they don't do that again.
You know, it's
She's
so
very much stumbling, like she doesn't know, what to say
I
or
hate
do.
to say it, but now that I'm replaying this through my brain, the Last Laugh may not be who summoned that Umber Hulk. And the Last Laugh may actually have trained us to that Umber Hulk to kill it.
Yeah.
But why?
That's-
Why?
Yes, that is a disturbing
Will
thought.
Wheaton.
I don't like that thought.
No, I
That
don't
means
want to
that
be.
the Last Laugh is afraid of something.
Matt, stop
And they're
writing.
treating us like puppets.
Yes.
Well,
I
the
take
city guard
notes.
wasn't going to take
I
care
take
of it.
notes.
No, it's true, but I mean, it implies that they knew it was going to be there, and they wanted us to get rid of it
Mhm.
for some reason.
True.
Which,
True.
I mean, there's a number of reasons why that could be the case. It might just be an opportunity to put us somewhere so that we were distracted while they did something else. We don't know.
I do have one question for you. How did you hear about our encounter with that Umber Hulk?
Everybody knows. I mean, it tore up an eighth of the city. I mean, it went through Mavu's warehouse, but it did damage to a lot of different areas, and all the riots that were happening because everybody was confused. No, it was news that night. We heard about it immediately. I mean, we hear about things because we look for things, but the whole city knew about it by morning.
Did anything else unusual happen that day?
To me,
In the city?
I don't think so. She looks over at Fario and he closes his eyes and he just shakes his head no. I don't think so. I mean, that was pretty outstanding, if you ask me.
Farazan kind of straightens up and he kind of taps his staff and says, "I think we're done here."
Oh my
Zan says so.
Okay.
Kind of, he'll go ahead and
Fezan has spoken.
god.
that's me being a little meta. I think we've exhausted this source of
Okay, bye.
font of information.
Tarathiel will lean over the table and just put two whisper additions, and as we go, like, "You're doing a great job."
Aw.
She smiles. Like reaches out to hug you, but realizes that's not the right thing to do and sits back.
I hug her.
Don't do that. Tarathiel is not a hugger. He's pointy.
I'll do it.
Too many daggers.
Hug,
Do we
stab.
do we hug,
No,
do we
wait,
hug now?
Hug.
Is it time to hug?
I know we just met, but
But thanks for asking. All right, guys,
Okay.
what's next?
I think we need to talk to Artis. I think there's more going on here, and if he has connections to the last laugh, maybe he can answer some questions.
Which one?
Artist Shimwick.
The brewer at
the
the
brewer.
Tipped Tankard.
Yes.
I don't want to talk to him. All right.
Where did we meet this person?
At the Tip Tankard.
Tipped Tankard.
No, just now.
Oh, you're talking about Shenson at Minutia's board?
The
It's
other
like
end.
number 20 or something like that.
Minutia's.
I can't remember what number it is. Minuta's. 22. Minuta's board. I said Minutia, but Minuta's board.
Oh, okay.
22.
Let's see where
Like right on the crater.
Oh, okay. I see it.
That's just around the corner from the Tipped Tankard.
Right around the corner from the Tip Tankard.
All right.
All right.
Convenient.
Heading to the Tip Tankard.
See.
All right, you head up. Go inside, no problems. Any kind of like preliminary things you want to do before you get there, Tarathiel? Because I feel like you'd be the one that would do it.
I don't particularly want to go in there, but I will.
Okay. So where everybody's just walking in. That's really what I'm asking. Are you hiding or anything like that?
Was this
Well,
was
okay.
a clandestine thing that the last time that we met up? Were you guys?
So
Kind of.
It seemed, yes, kind of clandestine-ishness. Simply, but he didn't sign his name on the invite. First of all, he just marked it X, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what did it
so-
actually say? It said, come have a
Come-
drink, right?
Come have a
beer
drink
at the
with
Tip
me
Tankard?
at the Tip Tankard.
With me.
Okay, well that's sounds like a front door kind of thing.
Kind of. I mean, he's a brewer.
And
Right,
one
so
can
am
never
I.
trust the brewer.
Yes,
That's
exactly.
right. What have we learned?
Oh,
Yes,
there
you
What have we learned?
There you.
How many names does that have?
About to be one less. So you head to the Tip Tankard. You walk inside. It's again the Tip Tankard is that traditional cop bar. It is packed. There's not a single half orc in here. And you come inside, and the typical, everybody turns and stares at you as you walk in.
Record scratch.
And then just a quick moment later, they go back to their business. It was more like somebody just walked in. Oh, it's you guys, and then they turn back to their whatever they were doing. No
So
dirty
they're-
looks. No. You even get a couple of them kind of give you a head nod, like recognition.
We've been kind of cordial to them, like recently.
Yep.
Right? I mean,
And walking through to go. What are you doing? I mean, I don't want to tell you what you're
well,
doing.
he said to have a drink, so why don't we just sit down and get a drink?
Sounds good. And,
Sounds nice.
See if
Out-
someone writes a note on the coaster.
I want to find a seat with my back to the wall if I can.
Well, there's 4 walls, so they're
Corner
all
booth.
technically facing. But I got you. You're right against the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem. It's fine. It's not super busy. It's just all cops.
how
you grab a
many
table.
half orcs are in here?
0.
0,
No half orcs.
which is telling loudly.
You have a seat, and just within moments you've got 4 ales, which is the typical the beer here. Not a whole lot of not a whole lot of selection. And the bartender sets them down. And he points over to a table. It's on them. It's 2 or 3 cops, 2 or 3 guardsmen sitting there in uniform. And the bartender walks back behind the bar, and you look over, and they all 3 raise their glass to you.
Raises it back. Thank you.
Enjoy your drinks. Have bartender comes out. If you want another one, you're gonna want to head to the back to get it.
What?
Got it. Finish my drink.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
He said
Yeah,
if you want
yeah.
he said if you want another beer, you're gonna need to go to the back to have it. So That's right, Rachel. You weren't here during this time. I forgot. So, Artis is the brewmaster of the Tip Tankard, and he always meets him in the back, or has so far in the back. So that's what that's. There's the disconnect there.
100% of the time,
what does that
it's
mean?
been in the back.
Yes.
Okay.
All once, right? So you guys head back.
As we're walking by the bar, I'll take a gold piece out and I'll put it on the counter, and I asked to the bartender, I said, just treat him well.
He nods, picks it up, bites it, sticks it in his pocket.
Why do people keep doing that?
You ever wonder how many other people have bitten a coin before you put it in your
I know.
That's why I don't bite coins.
And as you're heading to the back, you hear something. You hear the bartender yell something, and you hear just like this general, approval from the actual bar itself. Head back. You see the two giant tons. You see a couple of other people that work there, and you see Artis sitting at the top, like sitting down on the ladder that's sitting at the top of the ton. And he looks at the other guys and says, "Guys, can y'all give us a few minutes?" They both look and head out back to the front. And he steps down, and he's got this look of like wariness, just very, very like he's holding, like he's just holding the world on his shoulders. I heard about what happened yesterday. That guy, that thing, that person that drew you to Mavus.
This one?
You hold the picture up. Oh, that's pretty good.
People keep saying that.
He's not in our guild. He was brought in from out of town. He's normally in Sassarine's guild. He was brought in for you. This guy's bad news. I've never heard his name. I've just heard about him, but I'm no longer directly associated with the Last Laugh.
Oh.
They've been doing some things recently that I never really was associated with them. They were a means to an end. I'm an information broker. They have lots of information. It's more of a go-between, but I've cut off all ties. I don't know what that means for me, but I wanted you to know. And I wanted you to be very careful of this. He doesn't have a name.
I've just been referring to him as the Harlequin.
Not bad. He goes, I've heard all kinds of names. Harlequin, Clown. Nobody ever says it, that at least knows who he is. They don't ever say it jokingly. I mean, he is a murderer. I mean, he fixes problems that the Last Laugh doesn't really want to touch, but they need it taken care of. So
when you say he was put in to deal with us,
you mean kill us, right?
Do you mean all of us?
Yes. 4 of you sitting in this room right now you have been marked for death by the Last Laugh.
And anybody watching Tarathiel would notice he's relieved by that a little bit.
At least it's official, right?
Yes, now we can take the gloves off.
But then I will be weaker.
That's true.
You have inspiration. The leader of the Last Laugh's name is Velior Thezo. You will never hear that name again. I guarantee you anywhere else in town.
We should write it down very quickly then.
Yeah, I missed it. What was it?
Velior Thezo. He is the guild master of the Last Laugh.
Do you know where we may find this person whose name we will only hear once?
I really don't. And that's saying a lot because I know just about everything and everybody in town. I have never met him, seen him, or even know where to find him.
Is there anywhere in
happen to
town
know-
that you have a gap in your knowledge of? Any buildings that you don't know their use? Any sections of town where you are not welcome?
I mean, I'm welcome everywhere. Nobody,
Apparently not.
not
Oh.
anymore.
Do you know?
If you need to disappear, head to the Church of St. Cuthbert and ask for us.
All right. All right.
We have friends there. And I hope for this information by the end of the week you can still count to 10.
Yeah.
Pretty good. I can handle myself. I can be not seen when I need to be, but they
Me too.
they have a uncanny ability of finding people. It's shocking, really,
It's
how well they can find people.
Because they're scrolling on us too.
And he just goes pale.
Khaldun, can you detect and see if they are watching us now?
Sure. I start to cast it as a ritual.
Okay. So it's gonna be 10 minutes. You start casting.
It's 10 minutes for them to turn off the sky. Like,
Yeah.
oh no, he's coming.
You hear the sounds of shredders in the next room.
Yeah. Toilets flashing.
See how there's the flexible cameras? You just hear it being yanked through the wall. Go, go, go! The van out the front with Flowers by Irene on the front just drives off.
He regains his color during those 10 minutes, but I have no way of knowing if they're doing that. I don't have. That's not my wheelhouse, basically. Damn.
Get one of these, and Dratiel will hold up the amulet of proof against detection at location.
Oh, thank you.
And
Yoink.
I'm not giving you mine. Get one from Sky.
How much was that again?
All of the money.
Yeah. All of it. I'm casting a spell.
Yep.
Okay. So 10 minutes. You sit there awkwardly while he finishes his spell, unless there's something that you want to do. But his demeanor.
Thumb wrestle?
You want to peek your wrestle? And he grins at you.
I
Too
imagine Farazan just destroys everybody at thumb wrestle.
Well, Tarathiel, considering the first time you met him to now, his demeanor has changed 100%.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that cocky guy that just knew everything. He is just like a guy that's on the run. And he says that after you mentioned that, and Khaldun starts casting, he's like, "I'm leaving town tonight. I had no idea, but I'm going to get out of here. I'll." And he just kind of looks up to nothing.
Yeah.
And he just shuts up. He looks over at Khaldun. "You let me know." And then he just quietly sits there. The spell finishes, and you detect magic, but you do not detect.
The sensor.
Yes. So interestingly enough, you could detect, the divination, but you would still not be able to see it.
Right, because it's invisible.
It's an invisible thing. But you do not detect any sort of divination now.
No divination.
No. Unless one of you guys has got something that I've forgotten about. And you detect anything on Tarathiel. He's just like, whoop, blink.
Yeah, I'm actually not visible to detection.
Yeah. To divination spells, specifically.
Divination spells, yeah.
I
So-
finish it and I kind of look around and I tell him, I'd say, there's nothing now, but of course they could have stopped.
All right. I'm going to head to the Church of St. Cuthbert tonight.
Okay.
I'm going to get out of town.
Do we have the telepathic link up?
I was just thinking that I like thematically in the last scene, I poked armor with it, so I just checked off the box to say that I did do that.
Yes, you got
just
it.
to
So,
just to keep it honest. But that
Go ahead.
means that Almer and I have it.
well,
I didn't.
you can do up to. Go ahead and roll the dice for the entire party for the duration.
All right. I can't find the button. Hang on.
It's over there.
Did that do it? Did that roll it?
No,
I saw something. Looked like a
He
3.
gave us the
3.
explanation. Oh, there it is.
Cool.
All right,
Don't
so
need
3
all of
hours.
That explanation.
Yeah, saw 3. Yes, so yeah, you do have your telepathic bond going between the 4 of you currently, and you have had since sitting there with Shinsen.
So across the link, Farazan asks if it would be safer for what's his name?
Artis,
Artist.
Artis Shimwick.
Would it be safer for artists to be in our stronghold?
Do we trust an information broker with the location of our stronghold?
I wouldn't do that
That's
just.
a good point.
He's what's that? He is
Was-
the one that
I'm
told
thinking-
you where that was.
That's
No.
true.
But there you go. He already knows where it is.
Yes, he's the one that told you where to find that. Yeah, he's the one that told you where to find it. So you know he already knows about it. Whether or not you moved in, you're not sure, but you know he's not asking questions or anything like that. He's just telling you what he's going to be doing.
Okay. Well, in that case, if he's got some kind of writing implement, or if there's something that I can use to write around the place,
Sure. Yeah, he's got bar tab,
yeah,
a quill.
I'll just write down the word Cobra
Okay. He
and then hand it to him.
he looks at it, reads it, puts it in his mouth, and eats it.
That's what I would do.
And he just nods. Okay.
So one last question before we get out of here. Do you know what the relationship between the Last Laugh and the Lord Mayor is?
More of assumptions, but I would say the Lord Mayor probably hires them from time to time.
Okay.
I mean, nothing on the up and up, nothing overt, you know. But sure, if they need something a little seedier than what the guard could do, they've been hired. We have been hired. I say we in the past, but yeah. He's never hired us for anything like murder or kidnapping or anything like that. It's always been small stuff or information gathering or blackmail or something like that. But yeah, he uses, I guess a good way to say it is he uses the Last Laugh sometimes.
When was the last time that you remember?
I mean, daily. He gets information from him daily. Sort of like a presidential
Spy Network?
not spy network, but like
The brief?
intelligence brief.
the brief?
First thing,
Oh, the
yeah,
brief.
it's
Yep.
almost like an intelligence brief. Like, yeah, somebody from the Last Laugh reports to his people daily with what he pays us for, which is basically us. I still say us, but you know what I mean. A finger on the pulse, if people are missing or, you know, things like that. And no, I don't know where Mavu is. And he kind of winks.
That's great. That means Mavu's been disappeared, or he smartly fled quickly.
Maybe he went down to his own basement. I guess that's well, no, that's for another time. I was just like, how many of these basements do you know about? But no.
When did he last laugh?
Yeah, Coward.
Nice.
Did you ask Coward,
Coward,
how
do you have
many
inspiration?
how many bits or drachma that he?
Yeah,
Go
actually, we were talking about that off air. Coward, do you know how many drachma you have? Can you? It should have been built up. Hang on, we have an airplane crashing. Let's let that finish.
He's going through the drawers, looking through the doors for the drachma.
Anyway, look at that. Just chime in on the chat. But yeah, so Artis, what I just said, he tells you about that. He tells you that the Lord Mayor does have some connection with it, but to say they're associated, not really. He just hires them for things sometimes.
And lastly, does Artemis know anything about the, I can't remember the guy's name, the captain of the guard?
Tercion?
Tercion.
Yeah, he was just knighted. He is now Sir Tercion Skellerang. It was kind of a small thing. They didn't really announce it. They held it at the cusp of sunrise, and he was knighted for his service to the city.
What does the guard think about Tercion?
Mixed. He's actually pretty good with the guard. Just this whole half-orc thing, but I think that he was probably doing it for his knighthood. He was paid with nobility. If that makes sense.
It does make sense. Okay.
So does that mean that Tercion is now in line to take over if something were to happen to the Lord Mayor?
No, Tercion doesn't do anything without the Lord Mayor expressly saying it. So if he's doing it, the Lord Mayor made him, or told him.
If something were to happen to the Lord Mayor, is Tercion next in line?
Oh no,
gosh,
he's just knighted.
gosh, no. Yeah, gosh, no, he's nowhere even close. If anybody, it would be one of his children. And if the whole line was killed, it'd still be a rich merchant or another nobleman or noble family of Cauldron. No, Tercion, he'll never be Lord Mayor. He's Sir Tercion, and that's the best you'll ever get. Which is kind of a joke to the nobility. You know, new nobility, like new money.
New money.
Yeah.
Nouveau douche.
What? Is that anything like the new math? The new money?
Yeah.
So, okay. Yes. I guess you know where we are if you need us.
Well, you know where I'll be. And he pulls out a towel, dries his hands, drops it on the floor, and walks out the back door.
You say he reaches into the back of his throat and draws out a piece of paper.
Yeah, where was I going?
Pulls out a
Damn
bat.
it. You ate that too soon.
All right. Well, that's that.
I would like to go to the Blue Crater Inn.
Academy?
Academy. Yes, not the inn. The inn's next to the academy.
Yes.
The academy. And I know we're a bunch of academics, so we don't necessarily have the pulse on the politics of things, right? Because our noses are in books.
Sure.
But they may know something else, like, for instance, the Umber Hulk incident.
Okay. So heading to the Blue Crater Academy, you walk in, you see Jonathan at the front desk, professor, and that's pretty much it. And he continues his business. Normally he'll stop you and escort you and all this stuff, but now he's like, professor, and he just goes back to his normal business.
I will go up to the headmaster's. Oh, I asked him, have you seen the headmaster?
In passing.
Is he here today?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Okay. All right. Then I'll go up to his quarters or where he normally is.
Okay.
Looking
His
for
office.
him. His office. Okay.
Walk up to his door. The door is open. He's sitting there.
All right,
Looks like he's
I'll
writing
look
something.
in, knock on the door.
He looks up.
As we're walking, Farazan, like you pass a hallway or something like that, he goes ping.
Just starts like snapping coppers
Fishing.
everywhere.
Fishing for.
Rolling them down the hallway.
No bites yet. Haven't seen any. Nothing springs to life. You standing outside the door. You knock, and he looks up and he brightens up. Master Deacon. He says, come on in. You have friends? Oh, come in. You're all welcome.
Okay, cool.
What can I do for you, Professor?
Well, yesterday we had a really interesting encounter with an Ember Hulk.
I was told by the MTA about that.
And that was interesting enough. What was more interesting is how the Ember Hulk got in the building. There was a summoning circle there.
Was that in the... You see him kind of like searching his memory. That wasn't in the report.
It was a very large summoning circle, completely intact in Mavu's warehouse.
So at a game, not when you found it, it was shredded and you saw a single rune on a piece of wood.
Because the Ember Hulk broke it?
Destroyed it, yeah. Remember, you only found a single rune on a small sliver that even gave you the idea that there was a circle there.
Okay, so I don't remember that, but okay.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, it was whatever that circle was had been demolished by the Ember Hulk during its rampage.
Okay.
And that's when Master Deacon's like, I don't know if that was I don't think that was in the report, but I'll talk to Ren about that. Okay. Well, continue. Excuse me. How can I help you?
Well, I just find that really, really odd way of destroying a building, I guess.
So why would you destroy a building with a creature that you don't have to be there to summon? Or you can leave immediately before it's summoned, or the summoning's finished. To not be associated with it, I suppose. That's a very powerful spell.
Yeah, especially to summon an Ember Hulk.
It wasn't a standard Ember Hulk, by my recollection.
It was a shadowy one.
It was probably drawn from the plane of Avernus. If the description that Ren had in her report is accurate, her description, it sounds like it was a hellish Ember Hulk.
Never heard of that.
I mean, Ember Hulks aren't completely restricted to our current plane of existence. They're in other planes as well.
So does that change how it is summoned?
Absolutely.
For the effort to summon
it would probably require a gate.
A gate spell?
Yes.
Oh.
Does that require something different than one of those circles we found?
No, but it's a completely different spell.
So you think the circle and the Ember Hulk were two separate things?
No. But that makes more sense as to how it got there and why it was still around. It wasn't summoned. Someone opened a door and it walked through. That's very different.
And Master Deacon's nodding. That was my assessment.
That's not better, that's worse.
Yes, gate is like summon with bigger balls.
Yes. Yes, that's worse.
That's what Master Deacon says.
So Farazan kind of, furrows his brow a little bit. He says, I assume that anyone that would be able to perform this sort of magic would be very powerful, and you would know that they are within the city.
Well, Master Deacon kind of leans forward a little bit and he pushes his glasses up. I couldn't do it.
Yeah. And there's no reason why we would know that person was here. As a matter of fact, it would make more sense that he wouldn't want us to know that he's here.
Makes sense that he could vanish immediately afterwards too.
Mm-hmm.
And you see Master Deacon open a drawer, pull something out and drop it, closes the drawer. Anything else I can help you with?
You feeding a mimic.
Not a euphemism.
Oh, Lord. It's Family Channel.
You have no idea how many jokes I've held back on today because I'm like, no, that's probably not good.
There was a lot of setups today for sure.
Family Channel. Rachel's like, beer?
Driving it home.
And Master Deacon was very matter of fact about it. Like nothing out of the ordinary was happening. It's like, feeding a parrot a rat or whatever parrots eat.
Not rats.
Oh, okay.
So we're dealing with an extremely powerful magic user.
Yes, very, very powerful.
And we've encountered several different instances of scrying without the city.
That doesn't surprise me so much. That's not as difficult to cast as Gate. I could see that.
On a scale of 1 to approximately 9, how difficult is this spell Gate to cast?
9.
That seems not good.
Very, very powerful. Yes.
Yes.
That's as I mentioned, I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
There's nobody in this tower that could do that. There's probably 30 people in the entire world that could do that I know of. Probably a lot more, but
It would bear to reason that some of these difficult magics, like some of the things that Khaldun has spoken of, require special materials. Or those things something that we could maybe investigate, that they have been brought in recently. I know that some of the spells are diamonds or gems of some value.
Oh, well, again, somebody that's able to do that spell can go get and bring in whatever they want. They wouldn't hire somebody else to bring it in. They wouldn't smuggle it, I guess is your question you're asking me. Is that the question you're asking me?
Yes, if there was something unique
I could
that
cast Read Minds. I should cast that. Yes.
Detect thoughts.
Yeah, detect thoughts. No, if somebody can cast that spell, they will certainly have those components on them. They'll have already found them. For sure.
Would there be a way for me to determine whether or not it was an arcane or a divine spell?
Give me a knowledge arcana, and I'm going to tell you it's a pretty difficult roll just because you've got one rune. Honestly, it would be the same kind of magic either way. I mean, you know the spell.
Yeah.
And either way, you've got to have that circle of protection. So, not really. Not just on the one rune.
Yeah. I mean, like, as far as like the rule books are concerned, no. But I don't know.
Something fancy, something a little different. Give me a knowledge arcana. Yeah. I mean, you give me a good roll and
inspiration. Use your inspiration.
That's too late.
Use my inspiration.
18.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good.
Yeah, it's very, very good. I would say, yeah, you know that this is arcane, not divine.
Okay. All right. Well, the sort of the path I was taking is, we've already felt the effects of divine, and I'm like with a capital D
Yes.
things going on.
Yes.
It's like, could it possibly, because it's such a powerful magical spell, that maybe this is another one of those things, but apparently not, unless it was Vecna.
Why not?
Well, we've already bumped into Vecna once.
Thunder in the
Well.
background goes,
You've bumped into worshippers of Vecna.
Yeah, I mean, it's not
That's
completely,
different than actually bumping into Vecna himself.
it's not
By a little
completely
bit.
off
By-
the chain
Yeah.
that it could be Vecna.
Well, Vecna would certainly have enough power to cast a gate spell for sure.
Yes, probably.
If we are dealing with a god, I believe it may be time to get a change of address form.
You have to go downtown to the courthouse to get that form. It's a B5 GR 4997.
Nah.
Hmm.
You're such an amateur at this fair zone. You don't leave a forwarding address if you're trying to hide your location. You just pick up your mail from the old address.
Hmm.
I'm
PO
new at
box.
this.
PO box is the answer.
Yeah,
Is
get a
it-
PO box.
Yeah, this is getting more and more disturbing, because if it takes that kind of magic, if that kind of magic was used, and the last laugh was involved in this whole thing, that means that the last laugh has, at the very least, an ally that can cast these kinds of spells.
I am not familiar with much magic beyond the spells that you have cast, Khaldun, and the small number of spells that some of the shaman that where I'm from have cast, but those seem to be able to manipulate reality as a whole, and it seems that we may be outmatched.
Well, this is certainly an archmage. I don't know that I want to follow the trail of archmage magical components to the archmage. That would not be a good day.
yeah, unconsciously, I think Tarathiel's just gripping the medallion.
Yes. I'm so glad I have this. I'm so glad I have this.
He checked out 3 hours ago. He's just
He's
like,
not a.
oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God.
Yeah, he's.
I'm going to swallow this thing.
It's funny because he was relieved to have a professional assassin sent after the lot of us, but this scares the crap out of him.
Farazan's going to pick up Tarathiel and put him on as a hat. To use him as a magical device.
Yeah, attune Tarathiel.
This is unwanted physical attention. I need an adult.
Well, Master Deacon, thank you for that little tidbit of information.
You seem to have stumbled upon something that I'm glad I didn't. And he takes a serious tone. He looks at Khaldun. If you need help, you know where to find me.
Hiding
Thank
under
you.
the desk, apparently.
And don't forget, if we go missing, B5 GR 4947.
Yes. Cowart was kind enough to put that in the chat, and I wrote it down. Now it's in my notes. Thank you, Cowart.
Okay. Well, I think the last one we have on the list is the Lord Mayor.
No, we have Sir Tercion Skeleton.
Sir
Oh,
Tercion
Tercion.
Skeleron.
Yeah.
And I did
So that-
notice, I already had it in my notes as Sir. So it was, the note was signed Sir. So we knew he'd been noted. We just
Yes.
didn't pick up on it.
Ah.
It was noted, sir. And as you guys are leaving, you're heading down the hall, and you hear, "Hey!" from Master Deacon's room.
Uh-huh.
Hey, horses.
Oh,
Hello.
he got bitten.
He walks out from behind you, and he's holding in his hand a little moving puddle. Don't bite me. And he's walking down the hall. He turns around. They named him Hay.
Uh,
Who
think he's
named
walking.
him Hay?
fitting.
The students, because he would just pop up and nibble, and everybody go, "Hey!" So that's his name now.
How many of them are there now?
Just the 3. But I do think that Twerp will be budding soon, so we may be shipping some of them out because we don't need this exponential growth inside the Crater Academy.
Somewhere in the bowels of the academy, there's a chalkboard with an exponential graph and like a dotted line to show like this is the blue crater threshold.
Yeah, and it's being written by Boxy.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we're almost there.
it's when the camera pulls back a little bit, half of the chalkboard has just been bitten off.
That's right. Yeah. Boxy starts laughing, and as it pans out, all the entire room of furniture is laughing with him.
Just maniacal laughs.
Uh-huh.
Sort of boo ha ha by Dr. Evil.
What's
I don't have a little finger. I can't do that.
What's the joke about the guy that comes home with a gun about laughing?
Why about the Transformers?
Yeah.
Why do you have a gun, Dad? Because of the Transformers. My daughter laughed. I laughed. The toaster laughed. I shot the toaster.
Shot the toaster. See?
How did you get that joke from his explanation of the guy coming home with a gun? That's outstanding. That kind of talk about like chords between pictures on the corkboard, like, and that was immediate. I'm very impressed by that.
Yeah, the red screen the
told you
whole
before,
time.
This is how my brain works, orthogonally.
What'd you say, Rachel?
Nothing.
Oh.
Nothing she bears repeating. Coward, check the tape.
So next, you're heading to the Crater Academy.
Nope.
Gosh,
You were there.
the Cauldron. You're gonna go see Tercion.
Yes.
I'm gonna go to the Town Guard barracks.
See ya.
Head over to town, and by this time, it's taking time to move around. It's getting towards dusk. It's 5 or 6ish.
Okay.
You head over. The sergeant behind the desk sees you, and he perks up a little bit. Welcome. What can I do for you?
We'd like to speak to Sir Skellering if he happens to be around.
He told me to be sure to let you in if you showed up. Do you guys remember how to get out there? And he's
Yes.
He's pointing out to like the big area in his houses on first side.
Yep.
Do you mind? It'd be better if I stay at the desk.
Sure.
Okay. He just kind of smiles and nods, like, this is cool.
I mean,
Are there any half
everyone
orcs
else
in here?
think
You don't see any, but you've seen them on patrol
Okay.
here and there. So you head across, get to Sir Tercion's house, knock on the door, and he opens the door. And he's in a bit more formal regalia than you normally see him as the guard captain. And there's an aura of just self-pride just emanating off this guy. And he's just smiling. Hi, guys. Come on in.
Right, file in.
I escort you inside. He has a seat. He's not wearing his
Pants?
Hugh Hefner coat this time. He sits down.
this time.
This time, he sits down. I have been authorized by the Lord Mayor himself to give you a award of merit and special thanks for taking care of the beast yesterday in Northern Cauldron. We didn't lose a single guard. There was no loss of life, and we tribute this to you. So we'd like to have a ceremony. The Lord Mayor would like to present you with this, of course, at the pavilion in a couple of days. He he asked me to get your feeling on it before announcing anything. Make sure this is something you wanted to do.
I was going to say measurements.
Measurements. Got a Flavor Flav clock. Um, would you
Farazan
be,
wears a small marquee.
would you be open to a public
Execution.
no, not execution. A public presentation of this award.
Mm,
I suppose so. What is the award? I mean, is it just like a
Just an accommodation of
just
bravery.
just a handshake and thank you
No,
very much?
you'll get medals. You'll get medals.
Medals. What if they're made of copper?
Rawr.
Do we all need to show up? Is it an all or nothing thing?
I don't. Probably not. I don't know. He just wanted me to kind of check your temperature on it, as it were. I wouldn't think so. I don't know.
I don't have a problem with it. Seems fine with me.
So he's just looking at Tarathiel.
hmm.
I'd rather not.
Okay. I will let the Lord Mayor know that you have declined his generous offer for an award from the city.
Well,
Great.
you mean just Tarathiel, or you'd rather not, or we'd rather not?
No, I would rather just Tarathiel not. If you guys want to jump on stage, you go for it. But Tarathiel doesn't want to call that much attention to himself.
In the link,
He's already feeling itchy.
yeah. Yeah, in the
Starting to
link,
sweat.
Farazan, after Tarathiel says he'd rather not, Farazan thinks to everyone and says, this may be a good time to draw out people that are looking for us. Like
And,
if Tarathiel wants to be hidden, like in the crowd somewhere, or hidden away.
Oh, you're doing this mentally. Okay.
Yeah. This is
Because Skillering's like, what? Sorry. Go ahead.
That's
Continue.
okay. It's okay. It might be a good idea to at least maybe Farazan, he's the least likely to be hidden person. But if no one else wants to be there, that's fine. But he could do that, and then you guys could keep a lookout for people that are being sneaky.
I'm down with that.
So this whole time, Sir Skellering is just talking, like, to you guys.
Yeah.
It's got an award here, and you guys are having this inner monologue between the four of you, and he continues to talk.
So Farazan will.
It doesn't happen very often.
Yeah.
It's every once in a while. I don't remember the last time that somebody's been awarded, especially publicly, by the Lord Mayor himself.
Well,
And
you
he's
had a
just going.
ceremony
He's just going
recently.
on and on. Huh?
You had a ceremony recently.
And he just straightens up. I was knighted for my service to Cauldron.
Wow.
I know. I can go to the cusp anytime I want. I don't have to be invited anymore.
And it's still flaming expensive.
It is. I wasn't given anything but a title, no
I was
land,
gonna
no
say, did
money,
you get
no nothing.
cheese or anything?
So maybe just once a year I'll go
For the cheesecake.
for the for the cheesecake.
I hear they have good flan.
Isn't that a city?
I don't know. Is it a city?
PHLAN. Yeah, it is.
Oh, Right.
Did you? Was there a write-up for your award? Sorry, we weren't around to be present for the ceremony.
It wasn't. I mean, I wasn't presented. I didn't save the city like you guys did. It wasn't at the pavilion. It was held at the cusp of sunrise. Just a few of the nobles.
Casual.
it's casual
Very
nobility.
casual. Yeah. No, I mean they didn't announce it or anything. Just they said they want to take away from your accomplishments.
Oh,
I don't know.
So
Hey, I don't care. I'm a
the
knight.
I can
Yeah.
tell.
so this is for you leading the town guard and coordinating its expansion and securing the gates and all the recent changes.
For being the leadership. Yeah, that's exactly right.
It
So
must
you're-
have taken
you-
some effort to get the half orcs accepted into the shoot, I can't think of the right word. Into the guards.
Well, I mean, change is hard. And then there's a knock on the door, and excuse me, 1 second. And he opens the door, and you hear a mumbling, you hear a guardsman talking to him, and his voice reverts back to that first time you ever met him. Why are you bothering me right now? Is this something I don't need to handle some other time? And you just like in this one-sided conversation, and the door shuts, and he comes back around. God, they ask me for everything. I'm sorry, where were we?
It's hard to find good help these days.
It is very hard. Yes. Speaking of which, the half-orcs. I mean, no, they're not being received well. But doesn't matter. They're part of the guard, so they're going to be respected by the rest of the men, just like any other guardsman.
How did you find an entire tribe that was willing to relocate to Cauldron?
Well, we literally found a whole tribe. Well, I didn't. I don't know where they're coming from, but they're just being brought in. I mean, they're being brought in to be trained as guardsmen.
And you don't know where they're coming from?
Lord Navalot told me not to worry about it. He said he was going to give me some stronger people to keep the city safe.
Navalont?
Keep this city safe from what?
From,
I mean, what?
The Lord Mayor's Severin Navalot. Well, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's been going on. Just yesterday, you guys fighting that thing. I mean, kidnappings that were not like it's normally been. The discovery of a whole gnomish, I don't know. He just said that from all the things that have been happening here recently, that it was important that we increase the guard presence for the safety of the people.
And the taxes to pay for it.
Yeah. I mean, more guards cost more money.
That does seem reasonable, but it is concerning that you don't know where they came from.
Well, I don't know where any of the guardsmen came from. Half orc or not.
They aren't normally hired from within the town.
I'm sure some of these people have generations of guardsmen, but people move into and out of the city all the time. Somebody new comes in, they want to be a guardsman, they come and fill out an application? I don't know how that works, but I get trainees and we train them.
Well, that was good talking to you. Thanks
You
for
too. So,
And where do we meet you for the awards ceremony?
well, it'll be at the pavilion. I don't know what day or time yet. I had to see whether or not you'd show up first. So I'll talk to the Lord Mayor and I'll have him expect 3 or
Some.
4.
Some.
like 3.
3. Okay,
Yeah, I'll be there.
great. 1, and then okay. I'll say 3 to 4.
Mm.
Maybe we can convince Boxy to stand in.
And
And hope they're not made of copper.
he laughs with you, not knowing what you're talking about. Like he just joins the laughter, like yeah,
He's a total chucklehead.
yeah.
Yeah, I nudge his shoulder like.
Guffaw.
That's so
Guffaw.
funny. That's so
Yeah.
funny.
And we all stop laughing at once and say, "Now explain it."
Why are you laughing?
Yeah, why are you laughing?
Oh, social anxiety nightmare.
And then I say, oh, by the way, have you had any run-ins or issues with the last laugh recently?
Inside.
Roll insight. Nothing. I mean, I think somebody got arrested for robbery. I think he was associated with Last Laugh.
When was this?
I don't know, a couple of days ago, 2-3 days ago. I'm not sure. It was a mugging. I mean, it was just a mugging. Nothing really. Nothing major. Nothing I can think of. Not since. Well, he wouldn't know that. So, no. I mean, just a standard. Last Laugh, Thieves Guild, yada yada. Give them their pass, or if they really screw up, and we bring them in, then we'll arrest them. Things like that. No murders.
Were there any other details to this robbery? Who were they trying to rob?
They robbed some drunk coming out of the Drunken Morkoff. Just a standard mugging. Standard. I guess that's normalized in my line of work, but yeah. Why?
Well, we encountered them when we encountered the Umber Hulk. They were involved.
What do you mean?
There was a last laugh clown, something or other, that essentially lured us onto the Umber Hulk.
And he reaches over to a stack of papers and pulls something out. Well, that wasn't in the report.
There's a couple of things that weren't in the report because
Pretty
we
standard.
talked to somebody else. Yeah. Maybe, you know what? Maybe we should set up some training classes for your for your guards on how to fill out police reports.
So, if you remember, that guy was gone before the guards showed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but all the people that were standing around there running around with their heads cut off saw him.
He was invisible.
No,
Yeah.
he wasn't.
Yeah.
He turned invisible.
Right.
He
And then
ran
there was-
across,
Right.
all the way across.
Yep. Invisibly.
And no.
So he was
Then
okay.
he drank the invisibility potion.
He was running through a crowd and then became invisible and then ran on down and then an Umber Hulk erupted from the ground.
Oh, he went invisible before. Okay.
So he went invisible like right there at Mavu's, and then all this stuff was going on. So it was just a guy running through town. Then he turned invisible, and then an Umber Hulk jumped out. So you can kind of see where that wasn't mentioned by just the standard folk around. You guys
Yeah,
didn't
if you
mention
will.
him to the guards, I don't think, right? I mean, you guys never mentioned this
We
last
did,
laugh.
because we were asking about him.
You did ask the guards.
Yeah, I think that's why we have the picture.
Okay. That's my mistake. I didn't go back and listen. So it is in the report, but it was listed as a last laugh something.
Okay.
Or,
not as a
yeah,
Because he looked like
a clown.
Yeah.
Well, not
we
a
have
clown,
a, we
but
have a,
he
a
had
mug,
he had
we have
the
a mug sketch.
he had the
Mhm.
same markings as the last laugh.
And
Hmm.
when the Umber Hulk attacked,
When
do you
Umber
have
Hulk's
reports
attacked.
of any other crimes in the city at that time?
Yeah, there was some looting, a little bit of rioting, just localized though. Actually,
Just in that part of the city?
as far as I know, nothing else was reported. They only caught one looter, though. I mean, some people reported some things missing, but that could be trying to say that this is missing and then get money for. I don't know how insurance works, but we did caught one looter. But I mean, we let her go same day. No point in keeping her.
Were you able to talk to Lord Mavu about his property?
No, he's not come forth, and we've sent guards to his house. He's not there. I'm just assuming he might be out of town, establishing. He goes out of town a lot, does his trades. He may just be out of town, doesn't even know this happened.
Okay.
Have you spoken to any of his employees from the warehouse?
None were there that day. They were given the day off that day.
By whom?
They didn't say.
Is there someone that you know of that we could speak to concerning this to follow up?
Well, what do you mean?
One of the employees.
Well,
from
he's
Mama.
got a supervisor. You could probably go talk to that person. I'm assuming that's probably who told him to take the day off.
Yes. Do you have the supervisor's name in your notes there, Matt?
Not in the report, so I don't know who the supervisor is.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dramatic verb. What about the
Yes.
employee's name?
It was the supervisor with a gate scroll.
It's
In
a
the
super
warehouse.
supervisor.
In the warehouse.
With a cane over. Yeah. Well, I mean, there's several employees. He's got several warehouses. I mean, no, we didn't go talk to all the employees. We were just told that they were given the day off.
You don't have the name of the person who told you that they were given the day off?
It was one of the employees. He flips through. Daniel.
Did you take his last name?
Jackson.
Thank you. Well, I mean, I have to have a lead.
Yep.
You gotta
Yep.
pull his thread
Yep.
somewhere. The sweater
All
will
right.
never
Yep.
come off.
Yeah.
Daniel.
And he
Yeah.
knows
Daniel
something about
Jackson.
gates.
That's a very odd sounding name.
I know he's not from around these parts.
He's not.
We can go get him, bring him in. I'll send somebody right now.
That is not necessary. You could just tell us where he is. We will go ask the questions.
I don't know where he is.
If we could have his address, shoe
Did
size,
you
and
get
greatest
any
fears.
information from this man?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
but
he
he-
had the day off.
Did the day? Come on.
He was in the
It's
tavern,
a shoddy work,
enjoying his day off.
sir.
Well, he wasn't there. He wasn't there during the occurrence. He had the day off. What other information can we get from him?
Farazan looks
Any
at
general information. I
yeah.
guess.
Farazan looks at Khaldun and says, "You may want to put that in the outline for the classes for the guardsmen."
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
taking notes.
Just basic.
Coincidence
Basic.
101.
Yeah.
That's right.
This
The
is
only
how you
thing
back-
that they teach you is there's no such thing.
Suddenly
How
the
you
stream,
bag evidence.
the stream just stops and we zoom out and it's on a screen with Khaldun standing in front of a class. Now, did anybody see what they did wrong here?
The
That's
chalk
Straight through
mark
the fourth
around the Umber Hulk, completely unnecessary.
so Farazan will do that thing again where he furrows his brow and he's like, "Tap, let's go."
Tap. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Okay, bye.
We need to go find this Daniel Jackson.
We could. I mean, I could send. Actually, I'm gonna send some people to bring him in.
Well, how
I
do
can
they
do that.
know where to go find him? And you can't tell us where to go find him at.
It's in the Rolodex.
Where's the logic here?
That's why I have 1,000 guardsmen for them to go find these people for me.
Just on every door.
Knock on all the doors.
Is the
Well,
son
but
of
you hear
Jack
this-
here?
You hear this ground shattering, bonk, bonk, as they all knock on all doors and all of Calden.
It's the same exact
Blah,
time.
blah, blah, blah.
Daniel Jackson rings through the streets.
It's the town crier. Ta-ding, ta-ding. Daniel Jackson. Ta-ding, ta-ding. Oh man.
We just need to kidnap Shari, right? And he'll show up.
That's right.
That's where I knew that name from. Dang. Okay. I knew it sounded familiar.
I thought you were making. We all thought you were making a connection to Gate.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, I
this
was.
is like the Stargate, the Hellgate,
That
whatever.
was totally intentional.
Yes. I meant that.
I wasn't aware
You
of the
picked up
connection.
on
Sorry.
my joke.
You
Ah.
probably haven't seen the movie, have you?
What's the name of the movie?
Stargate.
Stargate.
I've seen that
Somebody
one.
else is in my
Oh.
boat.
Or the television show.
Just me. Okay. Never
I'm-
mind.
There's like,
Have you
there's
not
like
seen it, Rachel?
32 seasons.
Stargate's worth it.
Holy crap! 32
Yeah,
seasons.
yeah.
Is that the one
Yeah.
that's got James Spader in it?
Uh,
Yeah,
Oh,
James
the
Spader
movie
plays
is.
Daniel
Movie.
Jackson.
Yes.
That's
All right. Well, that's all the time we have for tonight, folks.
How much of this is copyright infringement?
Okay.
We all like to create content for the cutting room floor and then not do any editing. Enjoy, folks.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've seen that movie. But all right.
It's worth it. It's good.
So you guys have knocked out 4 of the 6 requests for your presents, and have learned some stuff, and had a few more things show up, like Daniel Jackson.
I wrote his name down. He's coming back. So.
I wrote his name down too because I
I'm
knew
glad.
I totally know you guys are going to bring him back up.
Well,
Well,
find this Daniel.
We'll find out next week
Oh.
when we pick this back up. I did not. It's so funny when you plan a game. I thought we would blow through these. You know,
We
like, yeah. I should have limited that to like one choice.
Have you ever watched the show?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know,
that's
but
right.
this is our 3rd RP only episode in a row, and I know you guys are itching to kill something, so I gotta, another Umber Hole.
I don't know. This is something casting 9th level spells. The itch has been scratched.
Yeah,
Yeah. I don't want itch. No more itches.
No more itches.
Want to point out that Dr. Foe is into the chat. I don't know how long he's been there, but that is our good friend and coworker that I work with. Hello, Dr. Foe.
Hey, Dr. Phil.
So,
Yes, so we are going to wrap up tonight. We'll pick back up in a week and see just what exactly Daniel Jackson and his supervisor, James Spader, have in store for you. And talk to Celeste as well as Severin
it's
Neverland.
like Jimmy Shovelman or something.
Isn't the guy that played MacGyver on one of those shows? or
He's in the
movies?
TV
Yeah.
show.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
he is the
really
reason-
want to say he plays Daniel Jackson, but he doesn't. It would have been really funny if that's what
It's like the only 2 people that I know of, and they're both Daniel Jackson.
And I will say that I can't remember his name right now if I am, but he is the reason I watched so much of Stargate TV show. Like he
Richard
is
Dean Anderson?
Richard Dean Anderson. He's amazing. Like he was made for that show. Just
Yeah.
fantastic.
He pretty much kind
He's
of
really
plays
good.
it. He just plays himself.
Yeah, he really does. I mean, well, watch it. It's
He's playing
great.
Kurt Russell, right? he was
Yes,
he was the
yes,
Kurt Russell kid
yes.
in the movie and
Yep.
then in the TV show.
It's funny because the pilot, they try to give him a little Kurt Russellish feel, like a little
Yeah.
gritty. Gone by episode 2. It's
Yeah.
just straight up, Colonel.
It's a
Double
really
barrel
good
of
show.
sarcasm.
Yeah, it's good. All right, thanks for joining us. If you just joined us, Dr. Foe, thank you for joining us when you could, and hopefully to see you guys next week, 9 p.m. Monday night,
See you
Eastern
then.
Standard Time.
Have a good one.
Bye.
If you can hear this, you're my favorite.
Aw.